You are rejoining me partway through my attempt to cycle to every single Premier League stadium for the 2024-25 season. So far, I've ridden from Newcastle, starting at St James's Park, down through the Pennines and across the Yorkshire Dales to reach Manchester, where I visited both the Etihad and Old Trafford. From there, I made my way across to Liverpool to tick off Goodison Park for Everton and Anfield for Liverpool. That's 5 stadiums down, and just a small matter of 15 still to go. Right now, I'm waking up beside the Trent and Mersey Canal, ready to get back on the bike and roll into the Midlands for the next stretch of the journey.
Might as well have some nice fresh socks. This was actually a perfect little spot to camp last night. It was really quiet. After the sun went down, nobody came past. Slept really quite well. Again, I'm waking up a little late because, you know, I needed the extra 20 minutes, 5:30. Just a little bit too early, you know. I think today is day 4, or like 3 and a bit, right? Or 4. I don't know, we'll call it day 4. And today's goal is Wolverhampton and Aston Villa. I want to get them 2, and then out of Birmingham as well, heading towards Nottingham after that. But somewhere between Birmingham and Nottingham would be the goal, the ideal goal. But there's lots of canals. I'm still on the canal, and I'm going to be following the canal most of today, I think. The sun, another day, 4 days in a row. This sun is rising. Look at that. Ta-da-da-da-da-da.
Getting up and on the bike early this morning, heading off down the canal, which I would be spending the majority of the day riding along. It's the nice thing about this part of the country. When I get somewhere traffic free, just jump on the canal. With the sun rising so early though, it makes them mornings feel a bit on the fresh side. And today, I could just not warm up.
All morning the sun has been like hiding behind some clouds, and it's just not warmed up. It has finally broke them clouds though, so hopefully it's going to warm me up. I've got around 35, 40-ish miles till we get to Wolves Stadium. I have found a little mascot, a little chicken, and hopefully he stays on there. If he does, he's going to live there forever. He will live there until he decides to fly the nest. I am going to try and do these next 35 or so miles as fast as possible, because I do want to get across Birmingham today. Maybe he should face the other way, and you can see where he's going. Stay.
I had quite a few miles along this canal today, so at least I now had a little bit of company. And now the sun had actually been turned on, I was able to start to warm up a little. Being on the canal for most of the day also meant it was really easy to make some decent progress today.
It's like deja vu from like 2 weeks ago on the BMX. I was exactly here. Got about 16 miles to go until I get to Wolverhampton. Is it called the Molyneux? I think that's how it's pronounced. But first, I'm going to stop, have a bite to eat quickly because getting up, my tummy's starting to get a bit rumbly.
After a quick bite to eat, I'd continue a little longer along the canal, which was getting a little overgrown, to be honest. But I would leave it before it got too bad, and I'd be back beside that noisy traffic once more as I made my way towards my 6th stadium, Wolverhampton. The Molyneux Stadium, home of Wolverhampton Wanderers, has a capacity of just under 32,000 and holds a special place in football history. It was the first stadium ever built specifically for a Football League club and one of the first in Britain to install floodlights. In fact, it hosted some of the earliest European Cup matches back in the 1950s. This one's a bit personal too. Wolves were my granddad's team. The story goes that one day after they scored, he leapt up in celebration, aiming to punch the air, but instead gave a lampshade a good punch-in.
And then there was 14 to go. Next one is Villa Park. Now, like I said yesterday, I believe they're playing. I think it's like a 3 o'clock kickoff, 3:30 kickoff, something like that. And I think they're at home, so I don't know how close I'll be able to get to the stadium, but we'll see. I've got about 15 miles to get there, and it's mostly downhill once I say goodbye to Wolverhampton, which is my granddad's team. Okay, let's go to Villa Park.
Six down and 14 more stadiums to go. And to get to my next one, I would of course just jump back onto the canal to get there. Villa Park was my next stadium, and it turns out as I arrived the game was just about to finish, with Villa winning against Fulham 1-0. Villa Park, with a capacity of over 42,000, has hosted World Cup and European Championship football. It has staged more FA Cup semi-finals than any other venue. England have played there 11 times over the course of 3 different centuries. It was the stadium where the last ever UEFA Cup Winners' Cup final took place, and Villa Park celebrated its 125th anniversary in April 2022. But more than anything, Villa have been proud to call it home since April 1897.
Right, another stadium ticked off, and that'll be the last one for today. I think I've got to head towards Nottingham now, but it's like, I think it's about 65 miles to get there, so definitely not making it there today. We'll just keep cruising. I have done 70 miles so far today though, so pretty happy with that. It's only It's 3 o'clock, so maybe another century day. Let's keep going. Where's the sun gone? Actually, it's quite good because it's not that hot. So I actually arrived at literally the final whistle, so I think it was like a 12 o'clock kickoff. And yeah, everyone was leaving early, which is weird because they were 1-0 up. I don't know what they're doing. Right, on towards Nottingham now. If I can figure out where I've got to go. Another little souvenir. Found some matches. God, this trip is it's like a little treasure hunt. Stadiums. I'm actually not sure if it's a chicken or a chick or a cockerel. I have no idea what the thing is on my bike. But it is still there. And some now safety matches. Nice.
It had been a long day making my way between the busy, built-up world. Even though most of the day I was following the canals, them flat canals mean you gotta pedal all the bloody time. But it was a nice feeling knowing that I was now heading out a bit more into the countryside, leaving the sounds of Birmingham City behind.
.47. That hurts. So close.
I don't know if you're a chick, a duck, a cockerel in disguise, but for now, I will call you Albert. Right, so I have done just under 100 miles, but I found a beautiful little woodlands. The trail is sort of over there, but I'm surrounded by thick trees, so I'm out of all the wind. It's been quite windy, but yeah, out of all that, so it's going to be a really nice and chilled night here. I'm not sure how many miles I've got until I get to Nottingham. It's not going to be too many, and it's not going to be too hard because I've got a bit of a climb and then it's pretty much downhill, so we should get to there pretty straightforward. I do need to find a cable, a USB, normal USB, big fat USB, old style, to a USB-C so I can charge my power bank, because I only brought USB-C to USB-C. I don't know how I managed to do that. So right now I can't charge all my camera gear and stuff, so hopefully I can find one tomorrow. Tomorrow is Sunday, so it might be a bit harder, but if I can find like a big supermarket, that's the plan. Hopefully, we'll see. But for now, another great night. What have we got left? We got how many? I don't know. My brain's frazzled. However many stadiums we've got left. Future Josh will put it right here.
Good morning. Good morning. Another day. Another sunny-ish day as well. Although today, actually from today, the weather's meant to just drop a little bit. The temperature's going down from the extremes to the mid-20s to like 12. So, like I said, summer's over, although it's still sunny and it's still nice, and it's not raining, so I'm happy. This was a great camp spot. I think today is day, I think it's like 4.5, isn't it? I don't know. Oh, I should be able to tick off another 2 clubs today. Nottingham Forest and Leicester City. And
Good morning, world.
I was really looking forward to this morning. The last couple of days I had been making my way through all the built up world, so it was a welcome change to be starting off in the countryside, making my way through some nice and easy mountain bike trails. It was also the first morning that the sun wasn't exactly beaming in the sky, with some grey clouds following me overhead.
Why does it always rain on me? It's raining!
Luckily, it was just a few scattered showers and not the endless rain that normally be following me around. But after around 30 miles so far this morning, I'd arrived at my 8th stadium. The City Ground, with a capacity of over 30,000, has been home to Nottingham Forest since they moved in on the 3rd of September 1898. It was named in celebration of Nottingham's newly awarded city status. Between 26th of November 1977 and 9th of December 1978, Nottingham Forest set a new record of 42 consecutive league matches without defeat. The 42-game unbeaten run was completed over 2 seasons, with 26 of the matches taking place in the 1977-78, a title-winning season, and 16 in the following campaign.
And there's another stadium ticked off. So one more to do today before our long slog towards Ipswich, and that is Leicester. I haven't found anywhere to buy a cable yet because nothing's really open, but everything should start opening soon, so I'll probably just wait until I get to Leicester and then definitely find somewhere. But now that I am turning back to start heading south again, it does mean I have a lovely tailwind, and as you can see, I got the jacket on. That wind today is just so bitterly cold. But now that it's on my back, it should start to warm up. I've actually done 31 miles already today. It's only 9:30, so it's a pretty good going. Should be on for a big day.
The reason it was so bloody cold today was because of that wind. So turning back around to start going south again and finding some trails that were a little more sheltered helped a lot. Almost a little too much though.
It's bloody boiling out here. He decided to put a coat on. Sun goes in, cold. Sun comes out, hot. I'm just coming into kind of on the outskirts of Leicester at the moment. I'm going to go off route a little bit, and we're going to go back in time to the wonders of Argos to find a cable.
The most futuristic shopping experience known to man. Argos. It's like buying something online if the internet made you walk to a store to use their own computer to order it. Call me old-fashioned, but they could have just put it on a shelf. But nope, I had to order it in store so someone in the back could hand it to me like it's a sacred relic.
Mission success! Got a cable. That means I can actually charge some stuff. My power bank, camera batteries, all that fun stuff. And also, I'm very close now to the city centre of Leicester, which means I've nearly made it to the next stadium, which I believe is the 9th stadium.
King Power Stadium, home of Leicester City. The stadium has a capacity of just over 32,000 and has been their home since 2002, replacing their old ground, Filbert Street. Leicester's history is full of ups and downs, but nothing tops the unbelievable 2016 season when they defied the 5,000 to 1 odds to win the Premier League title. Leicester City have won 1 Premier League, 1 FA Cup, 3 League Cups and 2 FA Community Shields. They are currently one of the only 5 teams to have won all 3 major domestic trophies since the year 2000, making them the 6th most successful club in English football this century. But this season, they are one of the teams to be relegated. So, I've just worked out how many miles it is until the next stadium. It's about 130, give or take a few. So today, just going to do normal, probably do another 30 miles if possible, get it down to 100 miles. The problem is, if then I do the 100 miles tomorrow and get to the stadium, then I've got to do a few extra to get out, that's fine. But then the next day, I might have to have like a short day before doing the London one, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It just means an easy day before a very long day through London to do all the London clubs. I've worked out though, if I can get to roughly just on the outskirts of the M25, then I'm going to have to do, it's going to be like a 100-mile day at least to get all through London and out the other end. And that might not sound too bad because we've been doing 100 miles. However, doing 100 miles through London, it's very stop and start. It might not be too fun, but I'm not sure. I'm just going to try today, do another 30 miles, which I should be able to do fairly easily. It's only about 2:30, so I'm just sort of chilling around a bit. I'm going to enjoy some tailwind again for a little bit longer, and to be honest, I got a little gradual climb and then it's pretty much downhill as I head sort of towards the east coast and the flatness around that area, so that's good. Funnily enough, the next stadium on my list, being Ipswich, meant that I would be riding from one club getting relegated to another. But with probably about a day or maybe more to get there, I settled into the saddle for the rest of the day, making my way through the rolling countryside. This side of the country felt a lot more quieter.
Hold on tight, Albert. Hold on tight. For a bumpy ride. See if this is smooth up here. Okay. Right, it's currently about 6 p.m. Done about 92 miles, and it's getting cold. I keep putting my jacket on, then getting hot, taking it off, get cold. I checked the weather forecast, and the next couple days it says the temperature is going to drop, mainly at night. In the day it's going to be around like 12, 13, so a bit in the day as well, but at night it might get as low as like 4. So I mean, it's mainly the wind that's making it cold. So just like yesterday, I want to find a nice little wooded shelter to get myself out of the wind at least. So I'm not going to do too many more miles. I'm at 92. A few more will be fine, but I have a rough idea of where I'm going to camp. I mean, everywhere around here is a little bit more green and foresty, so shouldn't be too much of an issue to find anywhere, but hopefully soon. I don't want to do too many more miles. I'm ready to get in my warm sleeping bag. Okay, 94 miles, happy with that. I found a little woodland at the most perfect time because it just started like lashing it down with rain. Now the rain has been like very stop and start all day and only very lasts very like a few minutes really, but I didn't want to get wet before getting into camp. And as the rain was coming, I just saw this woodlands in the distance, so I just absolutely hammered it. But it looks like I'm going to have an absolutely amazing little spot by this tree, or possibly that tree, or maybe that tree. I don't know, I haven't decided yet, but happy days. Now, I was planning a long day tomorrow and then a shorter day the next day, but I think I've still got probably around 80 to 90 miles to get to Ipswich. So I'm actually thinking tomorrow, if I just try and aim to get around like 10 miles before Ipswich, then the next day I should be able to use the full day to get as close to London. I hope that makes sense, because like I say, I'm going to need the absolute full day for London. So we'll see how everything turns out, but that's kind of the plan now. So tomorrow I probably won't actually get to a stadium. Tomorrow will just be enjoying the countryside, not really going through too many big built up places anyway. And then the next day we'll do Ipswich, and then the day after the big one, the London 7. But for now, as always, I'm going to see bright and early in the morning. The road is quite close over there, but I'm kind of hoping it'll get a bit quieter as it gets a bit later. It's still quite early, to be honest, still a couple of hours until sunset, but I don't want to go and get wet. And like I say, it's going to get a bit cold, so I want to make sure I'm dry. Got some pork pies for dinner, and another cracking day of just under 100 miles again, 94 point something or other. As always, I'll see bright and early in the morning, and hopefully that road isn't loud all night. See you in the morning. Good morning. And the sky is blue. And it's quite cold out here today though. I think it's currently about 5 or 6 degrees. It was a little nippy in the night, but you know, it was all good. And the traffic wasn't too bad for a while, and then it did start up again. And today is just to enjoy the countryside. Probably not going to get to any stadiums today, just going to try and get as close to Ipswich as possible. At least now it's much quieter as a truck goes past. I'm in a much quieter part of the country, not in like the really big built up cities, so a bit more countryside to play around with. There's probably lots of fields, and luckily it hasn't been raining, so they're all nice and dry. I can't believe I've come this far and my bike is still this clean. That never happens in the UK. But let's go enjoy the day. The sky is blue. Oh, I also did check the weather, and it did say today is going to be a windy one. And it's not quite a tailwind, but it's not a headwind either. It's like it'll be a cross tail. And then as I turn from Ipswich back to London, for the remainder of the trip, should be a tailwind. So happy days.
It was another bitterly cold morning. The sun, again, not doing much for warmth, but it's better seeing the sun than the rain, I guess. And still being out in the countryside meant I was able to find lots of quiet trails. Although, everything felt a little too quiet today.
Since leaving this morning, it's just so peaceful. And I know I said it would be more like a cross tailwind. Honestly, it's just like a tailwind, so it's just that nice silent feel with the wind pushing me along. And I'm just out here, have no idea where, in the middle of nowhere. Lovely, quiet country lanes. And since I left that busy road where I camped, I haven't seen a car or a person. I saw a cow though. I did say hello to the cow, only because he was in a field with a gate, so he couldn't get me. But yeah, apart from that, oh, gravy. Look at it. It is about 5 degrees still, so it's still a bit cold. Slightly regretting my decision not to bring gloves, but I hate wearing them anyway, so whatever.
It turns out the reason why this morning was so incredibly quiet was because it was a bank holiday. And that's why when I did end up on the roads this morning, it seemed like no one was around. But I was now heading towards the next built up place, Cambridge. But before I got there, I would pedal along what is probably one of the nicest cycle paths. It follows one of them guided bus routes. This 16-mile, 26-kilometre busway runs between Cambridge, St Ives and Huntington, and is believed to be the world's longest guided bus route. I'm glad I had the wind on my back here though. I feel a headwind would be horrible being so open and exposed.
Just come through Cambridge, done my little 50 miles And it's about midday, so good going so far. Really been making use of that wind. And now I'm heading, I think, onto a Roman road. So that'll be bumpy. So I broke this route, I broke the whole ride down into 5 parts. And I'm on the 3rd part. And I've got about 25 miles of the 3rd part left. Probably maybe 10 miles of up and down undulating, probably bumpy Roman road. And from there it's about 25 miles to Ipswich. Now, the wind has kind of shifted a bit now. It's going kind of more south now, and I'm heading east, so it's on my side. Occasionally I get a headwind like right now, and occasionally I get a tailwind. But it's quite tempting to go for Ipswich today, but at the same time, if I do, I've also got to get out of Ipswich to find somewhere to camp tonight. But I don't know, we're gonna see how long this Roman road takes, see if it's fast or slow, bumpy or smooth, who knows. But 50 miles done, just come through Cambridge. Oh, this wind. This wind is so much better when it's behind you.
Following this lovely little Roman road, the northern part, called Wall Street. Wall Street is actually a scheduled monument because it was built to a higher standard than most, running about 10 miles from Cambridge into Suffolk. It's dead straight, single track, peaceful. Honestly, it's perfect for cycling. Built nearly 2,000 years ago as well. I can't believe the Romans didn't invent the bike while they were at it. They built roads like this and thought, let's stomp around in sandals?
Right, that wind is starting to hit me in the face now. I've done about 65 miles. I've got like 5 miles of this section of the route to go, and probably around 20 in total to do for the rest of the day. I think the plan is to stick with the plan from yesterday, get kind of close to Ipswich, get there tomorrow. I have a rough idea where I can camp as well, hoping there's a spot there, but there's a wooded area there, so it looks like it should be alright. Just at this place, hiding from the wind that's coming down this road. But so far today it's been really good, because I've just been away from all the cities and the built up places, flowy countryside. What's not to love? Wow, the wind changing direction. Don't love that. But I'm just going to chill here for a bit, hide from the wind, probably put my coat back on, because again, it's one of them days where if you're in the sun, away from the wind, beautiful. As soon as the clouds cover the sun and you get hit by the wind, it's bitterly, bitterly cold. Another day, another camp spot somewhere here. Ended up doing 91 miles and I'm probably like 7 or 8 miles away from Ipswich. So easy morning pretty much. It's like one little climb and then it's downhill pretty much all the way to Ipswich. Tomorrow though, it might be quite a short one because I've only really got to try and get, it's kind of annoying really because I could do more but I just end up finishing in London and we can't have that, can we? So it looks like I'm probably only going to have to do around 60, maybe 70 miles at the most to get to Brentwood tomorrow, and then hopefully I'll be able to find somewhere around there to camp. If I go any further than that, I think it's just a bad idea. Really tomorrow, I'm kind of not really looking forward to it because it's going to just be a bit of a grind, a bit of a kind of a boring day through some built up places, kind of just following along like the main roads and stuff. So it's not going to be like today, nice country lanes and nice Roman single track. It's just going to be a bit, I don't know, and we've only got 60 miles to do, so should be a pretty easy day. Hopefully the wind will have died down a bit, or at least be pushing me in the right direction though. As you can hear, there is a road again, kind of close. It's a little bit quieter than the one yesterday though, so hopefully in a couple of hours they should all go to bed. And I am gonna just lay somewhere around this tree. As always, I'll see you bright and early in the morning, where we will get to the 10th stadium, halfway in the stadium's way past the halfway mark now. I want to say there's probably less than 300 miles, probably like 290 miles left to go in total. Get in there, guys, getting there. Good morning, good morning. It's time for another day, and that means it's time to get to another stadium. And I've only got 7-ish miles to get there, which is really nice. Before the boring slog starts anyway. That was a really, really good place to camp actually. Super quiet, cars stopped going past, and I just slept really well. I'm leaving a little bit later as well today. It's probably just after 6, so I had a little bit extra sleep considering I haven't really got too many miles to do today. Probably, I think it's around 60-65 miles in total, which is like nothing, and I would like to be able to do more, but I can't really go any further. I could always head towards Epping Forest. Is it Epping Forest? And I probably could just bivvy there for the night, and then that would actually leave me a bit closer to my first stadium in London, which is Tottenham. But for now, let's go to Ipswich.
It had taken a day to get here from Leicester, but I'd be arriving in Ipswich first thing this morning to reach the halfway point in stadiums visited. That's right, 10 down. Portman Road, home to Ipswich Town. The stadium holds just under 30,000 fans and has been their home since 1884. Ipswich Town was formed as an amateur club in 1878, but it was not until 1936 when the Blues turned professional, after winning the Southern League at the first attempt and finishing third the following season. This season though, they'll be the second team I've visited that's heading back down from the Premier League.
And that's number 10. Just 10 more to go. That's halfway in the stadiums. Now, next up is to head towards London. But obviously, we're not going to get into London today. But there it is, the long-awaited Ipswich. It's felt like a long old slog to get here, but we're here. 10 clubs down, 10 clubs to go.
I was just about to get going towards London, but then I saw an Aldi was just about to open. If you ever want to meet the locals in any town, get to a supermarket just before it opens. Trust me, that's where all the characters show up. Breakfast this morning, a punnet of strawberries, and to balance it out, donuts.
So I think sitting on the floor eating donuts at like 8 in the morning, whatever the time it is, gives off the impression that you're very tired. This guy gets out of a van, doesn't speak much English. Here, have this. It's blue because it will give you energy like Viagra. So we'll save that for later. And when we're bonking a bit later, for move a go. But I've only got about 50 miles to do today. So the problem when you're touring and you have a little day, or like an easy, well, in theory, an easy day, is it's very easy to get into this habit of just, oh, I'll stop here, I'll have something to eat, I'll just stop again, and then by the end of the day you're going, oh my god, I had nothing to do and now I've got no time and I've still got loads to do. So I'm going to try and make that not be the case today and head on to Brentwood soon. I mean, it's all road pretty much today, so it should be fast going. And
as today was the day I was getting closer to London, it meant most of that time spent pedalling would be back to following the busy roads, and that can only mean a couple of things: rubbish, overgrown cycle paths, and loud, noisy cars. It would be only a matter of time before I would crack open that energy drink the guy gave me from the van.
I spy with my little eye something beginning with C. Yep, cars! Well, today is going pretty much as I anticipated. Boring, trafficy, quite dull. Although the sun is starting to shine now, so that's good. It's starting to warm up. just coming through Chelmsford, and I've done 52 miles, which means I've got like 10 miles to get to Brentwood. Now, I'm thinking, I mean, it's very tempting just to go for it, but I just don't think the route through London's like another 70 miles, I think it is, something crazy like that, and I've still got to get out from North London all the way across to South London and beyond, so I'll be able to find somewhere to camp. So I think that would be a bad idea, because it's about 1 p.m. Yeah, it's 1 p.m. So what I'm thinking of doing is kind of heading towards Epping. I'm not actually going to get there. And I don't think I'm going to camp in Epping Forest, because I think there'll just be lots of people. It's like lots of people are going to be exploring there, but there's a few little woodlands just before Epping that I think might be better, smaller, less likely to like bump into people. Obviously, I can take my time to get there, and I think that will also mean that because I'm cutting across to Epping, I can rejoin my route down closer to Tottenham. I'll actually sort of be doing a few miles off the route that I would be doing tomorrow morning, but now, if that makes sense, just above London, above the M25. So I'm going to do that, I think. I've got so much daylight. Most of the day I've just been, every shop I see I keep stopping and just doing what I do best and just eating bakery stuff, because what else are you going to do when you got loads of time to kill? Right, let's head towards Epping. I reckon it's probably 20 miles away, maybe 25. I don't even know, I'm just going to wing it. Just going to find some nice, quieter country lanes to get there as well. So, a bit of a change from the roaring, boring traffic all day. Let's go.
It was a much welcome break, leaving the busy roads behind and finding some trails that led me away from them. But that can sometimes create its own little challenges.
Oh no, I don't want to get wet feet. In the middle, oh no, no, that's wet feet then. Nah, all this way I've had dry feet.
It only took about 575 miles to get wet feet. That's got to be a record. And now I needed to get through the stinging nettles, so a bit of gardening was required. Getting through that though led me on to some more overgrown trails. It was the one day though that I found myself with so much time on my hands that I'd have the chance to take a break, have a wander around some woodlands, just trying to kill some time. It was nice being able to stop often today, preparing myself for the busy day tomorrow. As I was meandering around trying to pass the time, I stumbled across what is claimed to be the oldest wooden church in the world. I'm not sure how true that claim is, but it passed some time and I was getting close to that woods I was thinking of sleeping in.
still just killing some time. I have found where I'm going to stay tonight. It's just a perfect little spot, just in this woodlands behind me. Still very early, it's only 4 PM at the moment, so just gonna sit around, kill some time. But I'm like probably a few miles, 3-4 miles away from Epping, which is perfect because then I can just head down straight into London, rejoin my route somewhere close to Tottenham Stadium, and tomorrow we are finally going to be on the big one. The London 7 tick off the majority of the 10 remaining clubs left, hopefully. It's going to be a push, it's going to be a grind, it's probably going to be very stop and start, but hopefully it's not too bad. And obviously I've also got to get the 7 clubs done and get out of London as well, get somewhere past somewhere out of London, past the M25. It's been a very easy day. I ended up with 72 miles. When I left my route, it had about 100 left to go until I'm like somewhere south of London. But I think now it's probably less than, it's got to be like 200 miles left, around that ish, something like that, I'd imagine. So very, very close, but tomorrow's the big one. Got to get through that first. As always, I'll see you bright and early in the morning for the big day.
Do more exploring, deeper than knowing just what is essential for life that is thriving.